Hey there friends, it's Gene Kim again. Today I want to share 6 storyboarding tips that completely changed how I draw and how I think about visual storytelling, especially for action and emotion-driven scenes like in One Last Monster. Now, I've worked as a storyboard artist on Netflix, Amazon Studios, HBO Max, and Angel Studios projects, and before that I was a layout artist doing CG layout at Blue Sky Studios on films like Epic and the Peanuts movie and Rio 2. So let's dive in. Tip 1, if you want your action scenes to pop, aim the camera up at the sky or down at the ground and elevate it. Keeping the camera at eye level for the entire time of your sequence is going to kill energy. A low angle where you're looking up at the sky makes any hero or any character framed within the shot look powerful and larger than life. Now, if you have the camera above a character and you're aiming down, that makes a character look vulnerable. It also plays with dynamics. Even if you add a slight tilt to your camera angles, that adds tension. When I storyboarded One Last Monster, for the action shots, the camera almost never stayed at eye level. Yura's story and Didus' story was, I think, too epic for just keeping it plain, and so I tried to make as dynamic compositions as possible. Second tip is move the camera like it's alive. Don't just cut between static shots. Let the camera breathe, lean in, push in, hesitate, let it move around. I employed a lot of subtle dolly ins, which is when the camera moves towards a subject, pullbacks when it moves away, or camera pans when it pans across horizontally across the screen. The camera was alive and moving, even though it was a 2D animated film. Camera movements give your storyboards rhythm and emotion. You can almost think of the camera like a character. It can feel awe, fear, curiosity, or suspense, just like your actors, and the camera conveys these things to your audience. Third thing is to draw real backgrounds when possible. When we made One Last Monster, we didn't have a huge animation team or budget, and so the backgrounds had to do a lot of storytelling and heavy lifting in order for it to look good. Whether it was Yura's palace interior or an alien world, backgrounds give a sense of place and scale before anybody says a word or does anything. So if you show the world that your characters are in consistently in your boards, you really sell a sense of this being another real place. I should say that I spent a lot of time on the backgrounds for the storyboards in One Last Monster because they were going directly to be animated afterwards. On a bigger budget production, you probably don't have time to do that amount of details in the backgrounds, but even putting something down is better than just leaving a background blank, which really ends up screwing things for people further down the line in the animation production process, like animators or background artists. If you give them a blank storyboard, they're gonna have to guess everything, and that takes extra time, and people do not like that. Number 4, you want to show the playing field as much as possible. What do I mean by this? Don't be afraid of wide overhead shots, as if they were shot from a drone or a camera or a helicopter. They instantly make your story feel more cinematic. When you pull back and show the audience, say, the entire battlefield or the city or the room that the action you're staging takes place in, you give the audience context visually and grandeur at the same time. You show the entire world and environment that the character's in and what's at stake in a way. And so maybe not cutting back every 4th shot or 5th shot, but frequently reminding us visually of where we are. And especially if your characters enter a new set or stage, we want to see what the playing field is. So aerial shots, those are pretty key. Tip 5, reactions show the story. You know, the storytelling is not just in what happens, the play and events of the story. That's how your characters react as well. Over-the-shoulder shots are perfect for that. They let us feel the emotional distance or closeness between characters. I would just study real human expressions, whether it's through watching YouTube videos of anything really, and hitting pause and just drawing the expression and emotion, or going out and observing people in real life, or drawing yourself in a mirror. Try to draw as much of these as possible. I tried to do a lot of these when I was first learning how to storyboard, and they really helped me. Watch how people hesitate, blink, and breathe, because that's where the acting lives. And acting is a big part of being a storyboard artist. Lastly, I would say, connected to that, is draw from life constantly. For about 5 years when I was at Blue Sky and I was preparing to become a storyboard artist afterwards, I drew at least 1 page of gesture drawings a day of human beings in action. I studied photos from sports, dance, people sitting on benches, anything. Even just somebody shifting their weight from one foot to another. Stillness sometimes, actually, the more subtle poses are harder than action, but they teach clarity and truth. The whole point of this is you want somebody to glance at your storyboards and instantly understand what's happening. No polish required, even if it's rough. Now look, I know a lot of incredible storyboard artists out there, better than me, have shared similar advice before, so I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here. When you're on a studio show and the director says, "We're behind schedule, make this shot work," your grasp of camera angles, gesture, and clarity isn't theory, it's survival. And when you're making an indie animated film like One Last Monster, those same fundamentals are how you take a very limited budget and make it look really good. That's the part I want people to understand. The fundamentals don't just make your drawings better, they make your ideas possible. So whether you're boarding your first short or chasing your first studio gig, remember, storyboarding isn't just drawing, it's cinematography, acting, and problem solving all at once. Thanks for watching. And if you want to see how all this plays out in a finished film, go check out One Last Monster on my page. If you want to support the channel, check out the link to our Patreon below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.